Hey man, these folks out here in Denver, you know what I'm saying? They in Denver, Colorado with it this time. But what's crazy, them folks might have well been in Boulder, because they say they got boulders of that fent, boulders of that meth, boulders of that pink coke. You know what I'm talking about? Man, I thought Denver had some good weed, but damn, them folks say they got a little bit of everything. And you see Trump is not playing with them cartel boys. You know what I'm saying? No immigrant money for you. Nah, but check this out though.
Pretty incredible images over the weekend as we see nonstop action on immigration crackdowns across the country, a flood of ICE raids leading to more than 1,000 arrests and more than 500 ICE detainers. These are added to the list that we saw over the course of last week. Moments from now, I'll speak with DEA agent in Colorado who was involved in this early morning raid on what they said was a makeshift nightclub party that they pulled people out of, and that there were many members in there of the violent Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. But first, let's go to our correspondent, Alexis McAdams, here in New York with the latest. Hi, Alexis.
Hi, Martha. Well, this is what Trump said on day one when he was campaigning. He was going to go after what they said is the worst first on the streets, arresting migrants who they say committed a wide range of crimes like drug trafficking, gun charges, and child sex crimes. And those raids are far from over.
I think the president's happy, but we're going to make him a lot happier. Yesterday was just day one, and these raids are going to go out throughout the country. We're not going to let up. We put our foot on the gas, and we're going to go.
This weekend, ICE raids from Chicago to Miami, arrests in Philly, and soon ICE says crackdowns right here in New York City. Texas had teams on the ground finding 3 rifles, 2 pistols, and more than 3,000 rounds of ammo. Sources telling me that a member of the Sinaloa drug cartel out of Mexico was carrying those weapons when he was arrested in El Paso, Texas. Just the other day, ICE agents also found a large bag of cocaine with more than 120 kilos of that drug packed right inside this bag. Investigators say a group of migrants were planning to traffic that right into our country. And out in Colorado, federal agents from the DEA raiding a party in the Denver area. This was part of an ongoing investigation into that Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. The team says 50 migrants were arrested. ICE ran dozens of background checks, and they put them on this bus and took them away. This continues here as the DEA Rocky Mountain team says they busted this party so quickly, Martha, they still had some of those cervezas still left on camera and still left on ICE.
I saw that. Thank you very much, Alexis. So with that, we bring in Jonathan Pullen, who was at the helm of that Denver area raid. He is a special agent in charge of the DEA's Rocky Mountain Field Division, and he has led investigations targeting terrorism and drug trafficking. Thank you very much, Special Agent Pullen. It's good to have you with us. Give us a sense of how you tracked this makeshift party location down, what was happening in there, and who was apprehended, Agent.
Yeah, thank you, Martha, for having us. So we've been following TDA here in Denver for a number of months. When I first arrived here in Colorado 7 months ago as the new special agent in charge, saying the words TDA around the city of Denver was like saying a 4-letter word in church. No one wanted to talk about it. But then my agents finally and quickly realized that we had a TDA trafficker who moved around 12 kilos of fentanyl across the mountains coming into the city. So that really started us looking at these traffickers and what they were doing and who they were associated with. And then, so for the next several months, we've been able to identify more and more of them, link them to other states, link them to numerous other countries, follow them between these sort of makeshift nightclubs. And that's what you see in the images on the screen now. The culmination was a federal search warrant executed at one of those makeshift nightclubs where we found about 50 people inside on early Sunday morning.
Were there drugs and weapons in there?
Absolutely. So these are dangerous criminals. You've seen from those videos that came out of Aurora a few months ago, these guys are carrying pistols and AK-47. These are serious bad guys. So we showed up in force. There were pistols found inside several of them. We found cocaine. We found crack cocaine. And we also found a drug called 2C, also known as pink cocaine.
Mm-hmm. So you've been on the job for 7 months. What's different now under this leadership than it was even a couple of months ago?
So this has been an ongoing investigation for DEA, but I can tell you what's different now, I think, is that there's a renewed focus on the most violent criminals in our cities and across the nation. And I think that's an important thing. You know, I'm a citizen of the Denver area too, and I want to wake up to a safer city. And I think that's what happened here. We took over 40 people into custody. A lot of these people have criminal records. And so I think the people in the city of Denver woke up today to a safer city.
So, Mayor Johnston had been very outspoken, the mayor of Denver, about what would happen if there were raids and that the people of his city would protect immigrants who were living in the city from any kind of raids against them. And yet now he's saying, what happened here on camera that we're showing you, he just gave us a statement, didn't happen in Denver, but if it had, he would have been supportive. Do you see a change in the way that leadership in Denver and in Colorado is talking about all of this now?
Yeah, I think so. I think some of the politicians are walking some of those statements back. I mean, look, we're here to protect public safety, right? I mean, on this raid, we had DEA out there, as you can see. We had ATF, we had Homeland Security, we had ICE agents, as well as some local partners with us as well, too. So everyone wants a safer neighborhood to live in. So, people can say what they want about, cooperating or not cooperating with ICE, but listen, DEA is conducting drug investigations all across the United States. Sometimes those include illegal immigrants. And so we're going to use all the resources at the DEA has to remove these people from the country if they need to be.
Well, what do you think? I mean, we saw Tren de Aragua in many cases, roaming freely. They've been tracked in 18 states. I think we have a map, if we didn't show it already, of all the states that this group is in. So once they start seeing raids and crackdowns and arrests like we saw last night in your area, what do you think the impact is going to be on their aggressiveness in the U.S.?
Well, I think they're going to probably start to scatter a little bit. I mean, I think that's what we're going to see here. We certainly didn't arrest all of them in Colorado yesterday, but we took quite a few off the streets. But typically when these type of things happen, they move to other locations. So we're going to see them scatter. But I think what people need to know is that, gangs like this are a real threat to our public safety. And so are cartels like the Sinaloa and CJ&G cartel. They all sort of cooperate and work together. And these are violent people that we're going to really continue to work hard to get off the streets.
Yeah. Before I let you go, I'm just curious, when I look at this video, some of the people arrested are women that I see handcuffed. Are they members of Tren de Aragua as well that you arrested last night?
So, it's a very diverse group. I'm looking at a list here, Martha, and we had folks, most of them were from Venezuela, but we had El Salvador, Mexico, Honduras, Cuba, Romania, and Italy. So, these people are all connected to this gang in one way or the other because it was an invitation-only party, but they're all associated.
Yeah. Not necessarily a party motive. Most of us want to be invited to. And you guys were not invited, but thank you for showing up anyway. Special
Absolutely.
Agent Jonathan Pullen, always good to see you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the work you do. You put yourselves on the line out there, and we really appreciate what you're doing to make not only Colorado, but the country safer. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Martha. Thanks.
Now, what sense this shit make? This is a 7-minute goddamn news clip of these folks talking about how they gonna keep running down on these folks' heads. You know what I'm saying? But Biden let them in. What he let them in for? You know what I'm saying? If they gonna go so hard like this, damn. But I mean, I can't speak on, what I'm saying, that level of political jargon and talk, because I don't really get into the politics too much. Maybe I should look into it a little more, but at the end of the day, it's like, I know my paper ain't really long like that to even be worried about these things that I can't be in control of or change. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe if I got on one of those, producer levels or the artist levels where they can, brush shoulders with these folks, and maybe they daughter like my song or something, you know what I'm saying? And maybe they like, how I wear my clothes or something, my clothing line, and maybe they'll hear me out or something. I don't know, but this shit be crazy, you know what I mean? But you see, these folks had this shit blocked up, rocked up, ready to go. Good fentanyl pills. They finna kill every damn body. And what's crazy, see, with the fentanyl, the Chinese, they coming with all the precursors and all the little materials and shit, and then they hitting the Mexicans with it, and the Mexicans is making the shit, and then they bringing it into the country. So I know Trump, you know what I'm saying, he definitely not feeling the fentanyl shit, and then China, they don't fuck with us, so they really trying to poison our ass and just, you know what I'm saying, infertilize the men and all type of crazy ass shit, cause shit, Trappin ain't dead.